why would an airport need a CMO? And I've never heard of an airport have a CMO, and till date, airports don't have CMOs.
What has been the biggest challenge for you in trying to deliver this consistent, great experience?
Any ecosystem that has multiple stakeholders, that will continue to be a challenge because you want to ensure that it doesn't drop at any point in time. We recently got accredited by ACI, and they accredit you for customer experience. There are multiple levels. Level 5 is the highest level. So we just got accredited for level 5. Passenger at the center, passenger experience first, no matter what.
Hi Shalini, welcome to today's podcast. I really want to congratulate you
Thank you so much.
on your airport being recognized as top CX star of State of CX India 2025 as India's best airport, which I don't agree. I think it's world's best airport. Personally, I've been to 50 countries. I've never seen airport like yours.
You just made my day beyond the CX Stars, which of course made our day.
Yeah.
But you made my day even
Yeah.
more just now by saying that.
So how does this recognition, what does it mean to you and your team?
I think for us, this recognition is a validation because it's something we're very, very passionate about. And we really believe that we'd like to see not just delighted customers, but a lot of our partners also who work with us, we'd like them to feel as proud as we are about this. So this recognition literally is a beautiful validation that all the effort that we put in, all the craziness that we get involved in is worth it.
It's worth it, and I understand you're one of the top 7 in the world now.
So we recently, just a couple of days ago, got accredited by ACI, which is the Airports Council, and they accredit you for customer experience. There are multiple levels. Level 5 is the highest level. So we just got accredited for level 5.
And there's no level
on
6
customer.
which you can achieve?
We'll have to create one.
Okay.
Maybe we can.
You can create one.
Maybe
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
can.
Okay, so what were the key decisions in design, technology, day-to-day ops that you believe made this recognition possible?
There are a couple of things. And in the field of both customer experience and marketing, if you don't have that backbone of the product and experience truth, you're not going to go anywhere. So I think we design and build our customer experience plans around the consumer. Now, it may sound like a cliche, but passenger at the center, passenger experience first, no matter what, is something that we believe in very, very strongly. And so a lot of our tech is meant to enable that. A lot of our design flows, etc. We're constantly looking at how do you make it easier? How do you reduce the friction? And how do you give people time to just explore when they're at the airport and not be in this rushed, frenzied frame of mind? So all design. So for example, I'll give you a very small example. We've invested a lot in heat maps, queue management, where we get alerts on when there is a build-up happening in a certain set of areas so that we can open up, let's say, more check-in counters, and we speak to the airline for that. Similarly, if you're a passenger who's going through, we'll be able to tell you which entry gate, how much time you'll take, which check-in counter, how much time you'll take, so that you make that choice. Now, all that obviously, as you know, will take investment to make sure that that happens, but we'd like to then empower the passengers. So that's how we look at
So
it.
this is fantastic because as a customer, I can tell you, after 2 hours of traffic, when I reach your airport, I'm so relaxed.
And I'm so glad because that
I'm
means
so relaxed.
that means you
I
can
go
have
in the
time.
airport, I feel at home, and especially your horticulture is outstanding. Please do congratulate your horticulture guy.
Absolutely.
Whosoever
will.
that team is doing a
Absolutely
fantastic job
will.
because so good on your eyes.
So there's a reason behind that. It's wonderful on the eyes, but it also environmentally maintains the entire, let's say, atmosphere of the airport. So not only does the sound of water help calm you down, but all that green, our energy utilization, all of it, therefore, and the open sky, so therefore the skylights, etc., gives you a very different feeling and helps you calm down with that green. And it's a reflection of the city as well. You know, Bangalore's called the Garden City, so therefore.
Absolutely. Okay, now let's come to your journey. How did your airport go from being strong airport brand to becoming India's best?
I think
When did this
again,
journey start? What is your experience?
so interestingly, this year we turn 18 as an airport.
Mhm.
In about a month's time, we come of age as they call it. So we turn 18, which means 18 years since the first aircraft took off
Landed.
or landed. Um, the belief in wanting to be one of the best, I think, is driven completely by the top. There's a very strong vision that our CEO has always had, and both as partners, we are a PPP, as you would
Mm.
understand, but whether it's the government of Karnataka or Fairfax as our partners, the belief in customer first is universal. And I think that helps drivers. The pure brand journey, the way you ask, began about 7 years ago, where we suddenly went in our aspiration from just being, let's say, an airport that people may just transit through as a brand that we wanted everybody to experience. And that began through, I don't know how many people know this, but Digiyatra is something that was conceptualized through our innovation center and first tried at Bangalore Airport and then taken across the country in order to make it relevant. So it is little innovations like that. And I think the real switch happened once Terminal 2 happened, because Terminal 2 was designed in a certain way to be able to deliver that experience. And that's when the switch happened. That's also when we started investing in brand and started building this whole idea of creating a destination, getting everybody to experience, like you said, come in and actually enjoy yourself and explore. So I'd say that journey began about 6 years ago. And we're now excited because it's paid off. It's like one of those rolling balls, it's picking up more and more. And we've gone from being completely what I'll call a functional brand about 6 years ago when we started articulating to today a far more multi-sensorial brand. And I'll talk about that as we
No,
go
this
along.
is this is a fantastic brand journey. I have had friends from US, Europe, Singapore,
Mm,
and they've all said this airport is remarkable.
I'm delighted to hear that.
And I'm so happy that you focused on moments of truth like Digiyatra.
Mm,
So if you focus on these 5 or 10 top moments of truth,
yeah, yeah.
you will make the experience fantastic.
Completely agree with
Yeah,
you.
there is no other way.
Completely agree with you.
So, on a personal note, how did you end up this role, and what has it been like to shape one of these admired experiences in the world?
So, on the personal journey, it's a very interesting story actually. I've spent my career very much in the FMCG and then hospitality world. And when I got this call, I remember thinking, why would an airport need a CMO? And I've never heard of an airport have a CMO, and till date, airports don't have CMOs. And it came again from that vision and the decision that with Terminal 2, let's build out that legacy. But for me personally, it was an opportunity as somebody who's invested my entire career in marketing and branding to take that entire piece into an industry where it's not so obvious.
Mm.
Airports are rarely branded. People don't look at airports as anything other than transit points. And I said, this is the opportunity to show the power of branding. And I can very happily say that we've done that in the last 7
Absolutely.
years.
You've done a great job. Uh, for a lot of people, the airport is the first impression of a city,
Yes,
like for Bangalore.
yes.
How do you see your airport reflecting the spirit of Bangalore and perhaps even shaping how people experience the city itself?
So, two, three things. We're very cognizant of that we're a gateway both in and out of the city. It is often the first impression of the city. So, when you drive in or out, first thing, you talked about the green. A lot of people talk about the flowers that they see when they drive in and out as well, and sometimes around the terminal areas. That is very much what Bangalore is known for, and that is something that we've ensured there is adequate amounts of course more in terminal 2, but much in terminal 1 as well. The second piece is technology. Bangalore is always known as the silicon capital, the area for innovation, all of that. So we are constantly pushing ourselves from tech enablement point of view. Some of the examples that I gave you a little earlier, in terms of whether it's Digiyatra, queue management, um, We have a few interesting things that we've done in Terminal 2 particularly. There is technology enhancements on our flooring, whereby if you are hearing impaired, there is a technique that will push up the hearing levels that you have. We equalize it. Then there's keys for if you're visually impaired. There are various little touches on our flooring that allow you to do that. So it's the sensitivity. Something very interesting about Bangalore that I didn't discover till I went there. The city is very, very passionate and cognizant of its greenery, its impact on the environment, its the good that it's doing, and things like that. It's very involved. And I think that airport has also, therefore, amongst all of us, become equally responsible, involved. We don't talk too much about our sustainability initiatives just now, but for example, T2, before it opened up, was LEED Platinum certified even before. One of the few airports in the world that was Platinum certified before it opened. So that sense of responsibility. So we reflect Bangalore in all those ways. And finally, we have a lot of art within the airport. I don't know
Yes.
whether you
Yes,
experienced
I
it,
saw it. Yes.
but again, a reflection of Karnataka's culture, a lot of what you see around. So there are those touches that will remind you exactly where you are.
Absolutely right. I think very, very well done. I think reflection of the city, reflection of the state,
Yeah, yeah.
you can see there. Okay, let's now talk metrics.
Okay.
Beyond the traditional CSAT
Hmm.
and NPS scores, what are the other metrics which you use for real insight and customer delight, customer experience improvements? How do you check it out?
Three, four things, if I were to enumerate them. One is the fact that as a traditional marketer, there's no getting away from regular market research, and we do that regularly with passengers. We also have various quality assessment authorities that work with us, and there we do both arrival and departure surveys. Those surveys are conducted on a regular basis, and I don't know if you know, but we've been winning the best airport on arrivals globally for the last couple of years now. When we get those reports come in with point wise feedback
Mm.
on what's gone well, where customers have seen a drop. Those are very detailed assessment scores that come in across multiple touch points. So that's one thing. Then we have something called Skytrax, which is known as the Oscars of the airport world. And there we look for our rankings, our accreditations. We just got a 5-star terminal for Terminal 2. So all those assessments are what we look at. Then there are metrics that we possibly look at almost on a daily basis internally. That is complaints versus compliments. That's one ratio we track very, very closely. On time performance, baggage handling, all of those. So those are our operational metrics, but they add up.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, they add up to what the customer will finally experience. So,
absolutely.
yeah, those are some of the
No,
things
no,
we
great,
track.
great, great. And also tell me now, what has been the biggest challenge for you in trying to deliver this consistent, great experience in an environment which is quite complex?
I think any ecosystem that has multiple stakeholders who are responsible for delivering the experience, that will continue to be a challenge because you want to ensure that it doesn't drop at any point in time. Because you might have an experience which is fabulous all through, but there may be one small thing with the taxi, one something else, but you will always attribute it to the airport. That's one thing we've realized. Everything is always attributed to the airport, no matter what you do. You can say it's a different service provider, it doesn't matter. We invest a lot of energy in joint collaborative conversations with the stakeholders
With each stakeholder.
with the stakeholders, so that that sense of pride and delivery is something they feel along with us, and without that it won't work. And that continues to be the challenge where you have a complex ecosystem like this and a highly regulated security led ecosystem sometimes, which can get people upset at various points in time. But everybody coming together is the true integration that happens, so that you don't feel, for example, if you're transiting, let's say you come in from Mysore, you're taking a flight and you want to go international, we have baggage transfer systems, movement systems, which we've worked on at the back end through approvals, through various points, so that you don't have to experience picking up various
Yeah,
things, trying to
yeah.
figure out what's going on. What people don't realize is because you're regulated systems, you're jumping terminals, there's security points. So we work to do all of that. So that is probably a challenge, but also something we need to continue to work on
But that
to deliver
collaboration
that.
leads to delight. I think I
Absolutely.
agree with you. I think if you don't
Absolutely.
collaborate,
Yeah.
you won't be able to achieve it.
You can't.
Yeah.
Because it's not just, it's a human delivery system
Yes,
finally at
yes,
the end of the
yes.
day, and multiple stakeholders.
Yeah.
That
And all are
becomes.
important.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So airports are often judged most harshly in difficult moments. Delays,
Yeah.
queues, disruptions, missed connections, so many things which we have seen. How do you prepare for these moments and what matters most when handling them well? Give us an example.
So, how do we prepare is a very interesting one. We have a very robust, uh, let's say, risk assessment, risk management, business continuity piece that we do, which is not just on paper. We do regular exercises through the year, and where we pressure test all our systems to see how are we reacting, and that's an ongoing basis. There are some that are defined by DGCA, but there are some that we continue to do ourselves. Sometimes it's tabletop, sometimes it's on the ground. So that's how we stay. Muscle memory should never go away is the way we look at it. But the one thing that we do is because I think of a sense of ownership that everybody has on the ground, which is if something goes wrong, nobody looks left or right to say, is it the airline? Is it somebody else? The terminal operations team, which is usually the front end team that takes the brunt of all of this, will jump in no matter what. So, the recent one, where multiple people got stranded because of the whole Middle East situation, all we did is think about it as we would be passengers. So, tables, chairs set up, food, water, special counters to hold everybody, to manage. In some instances, we had aircrafts that took off but came back halfway through.
Hmm.
And that's a very, very tedious process when it comes to immigration, because you've left the shores and
Already.
then you've come
Yeah.
back and then you've got to be taken back in. So to liaise with everybody to ensure that happens. And this is stuff we just did very, very recently. So it's top of mind. We don't wait, and that's the only thing I can tell you, because we don't look at it as, acha, is it CISF, is it
So a
immigration?
lot of
We don't.
proactivity.
Proactivity, and I think ownership. I'll change it and I'll call it ownership. Everybody says this is my airport. I have to make
So the
sure that you leave.
pride,
Absolutely.
pride is fully across all partners.
Yeah, yeah,
It is the driver.
absolutely. And that then, you don't wait to be empowered. You're like, okay,
You
I
do
have to
it.
do this. You just
Yeah.
do it. You don't wait for
You're the
somebody to
owner.
tell you. You're the owner. That's
Good.
the point.
So are those moments something you prepare for very deliberately, not just operationally, but also from a customer experience point of view? For example, this Middle East issue, which you said, was this a backup experience which you had already practiced with your team?
So, an airport is a very fascinating environment. I think it gives you these issues on a regular basis, on and off. We've had things like cloud strikes. We've had so many things that have happened. So we go through it, but we do a wash up after that
Hmm.
to see what worked, what could have been a little bit better. And then we build around some of the SOPs, get built accordingly. So, yes and no. Little bit of training, little bit of washing up, little bit of all of that definitely happens. But airports provide you this almost
Many
on a
opportunities.
monthly
Many
basis.
opportunities.
There's many opportunities to go through.
Okay, in terms of staying ahead, how does your airport continue to be seen on the cutting edge? How do you make the sure that experience keeps evolving rather than standing still?
So, on the entire idea of staying cutting edge, one, it comes from this burning deep desire that we have that we can't just sit back. Yes, we've got a lot of awards, but we keep telling ourselves don't get complacent. So, there are two sources. One is, I think all of us interact enough with the external world in terms of what's going on. But if you recall, I told you about the research, the insights that we keep getting. We make sure we're constantly talking to our guests, checking what's happening across the world, and we will keep evolving. I'll give you one very small example that we just launched 2 months ago. It's called Gatesy. It's our lounge that has been built, designed, completely structured around Gen Z. Because the belief is that Gen Z, we started hearing that they find the regular lounges too restrictive, too
That means I
boring.
get into that lounge.
Absolutely. You should do that, and you should fly international out
Okay.
of Bangalore. And so it's designed like that, it's structured like that. It's a use as you please kind of lounge. And it's the only one of its kind that's been built like that. So we're constantly pushing ourselves to set the trends. And I think that's how we manage to stay cutting edge, both on tech and otherwise. We're constantly pushing.
That's very innovative. Very innovative. Okay, for the organizations that want to be really best in class like you in customer experience, where should they focus their energy first? Which means, what kind of big lessons you can advise other organizations?
Some of it will sound very textbook, but the reason I think some of that textbook piece works is you've got to ensure you implement it. And it's a no brainer. Of course, customer at the center, no matter what. And that means hard decisions sometimes. Maybe an additional investment to ensure customers happy, maybe not cutting costs in the places that matter to the customer. So I think the first thing is to understand your customer journey. And sometimes people make a mistake saying, oh my God, how can I influence the entire journey? No. Talk to the customer, find out which part of the journey has a disproportionate impact. And there will always be 2 or 3 points that have disproportionate impact. There have your absolute best. And also have your service recovery plan very clear there, because nobody expects you not to make a mistake, but how you recover from that
How
mistake,
fast you
and
recover.
how fast, and how you make me feel at the end of it. I will still go back your biggest fan even if you've messed up on something. So that's one. Understand that piece. The second one is empower and make your people on the ground feel that they are owners, and therefore empower, empower, empower. They shouldn't be worried, if I do this, is somebody going to pull me up? Am I authorized to do it? Am I not
Actually,
authorized
they're
to
more
do it?
responsible.
Exactly. They know because they face this day in and day out. They know better than you and me
Yes.
what is actually
So you
required.
trust them.
Trust them, empower them, let them go ahead and deliver what they would. And the third is the integration, because in any business, you're not delivering 100% yourself. There will be stakeholders, there will be others. Collaboration, integration, show them the same dream and the vision. So I have a saying, it's not exactly a quote, but it's something I'm very fond of saying, which is your job is to have the dream, but you also need to show everybody else that dream and help them deliver it. And that is something on customer experience you can't get away from.
Okay, so tell me, when is your dream of becoming number one in the world coming true?
Well, wait and watch is what I would say. It is a dream. We'll get there.
Okay, great. So these were the easy questions.
Okay. Oh, you
Now
have
let me
tough
move
ones
to
now.
the rapid fire, which will be tougher. You won't get much thinking time to answer them. Let me start. One airport anywhere in the world that you admire the most.
Obvious one, Changi.
Okay. And obviously you'll beat Changi at some point.
Well, they'll keep running. We'll run, and
Run
let's see where
faster.
we meet.
You will run faster. Okay. One aspect of Bangalore Airport that you are most proud of today.
I'd say Terminal 2.
Terminal 2. One global trend in airport CX that you are watching very closely.
Consumers don't want to be hassled in any way. When I say hassled, they don't want you to be obvious, yet they want everything. So, how do you deliver all the trappings kind of almost invisibly and let them pick and choose what they want to? more and more we are seeing that as a trend. So you can't have obvious boxes anymore. It's almost like a smorgasbord of stuff. You pick and choose. That's something
And
we're
that's
seeing.
customization because
Absolutely.
every customer is different.
But you can't customize.
Yeah.
So you've got to then provide a very wide
Full range.
board, a full range, and then let people interact the way they want to interact.
Fantastic. Last question. What is your advice for young professionals building a career in CX or marketing?
If you don't like people, don't be in this business.
So it's
You
people.
have to love people. You have to be curious about what makes them work, and you have to want to put a smile on their face. If none of that drives you, stay away
So
from it.
EQ. That means you need to
EQ,
have huge empathy.
I'll tell you, EQ, curiosity, and humility. Because if you feel, the day you feel you know everything, it's over. Because if you have the humility, you will go on. So with these three, very critical. You have these, you're good.
Fantastic. Shalini, thanks a lot.
Thank you very
It's been a
much.
great time, huge learnings. I have adjudged you as number one in the world already, personally,
God
from
bless
my
you for
experience.
that.
But let's wait for the global scores. I'm sure you'll make it sooner than later.
Thank you very much.
Delighted to meet you.
Same here.